S1 Division 1 got off to a contentious start as Limbo and J. Miguel collided right away. Miguel salvaged his race, but Limbo would finish dead last. His teammate P82 duelled with Doogie of AMS in a battle for third. The other AMS driver, Marzan, led the field until the first round of pit stops. P82 took the lead but lost control out of turn 7 and found himself back in the midfield, handing the advantage to the GTMX team, who'd opted for a much longer first stint. Souza fought long and hard to outmaneuver the GTMX drivers to grab second place. Meanwhile, P82 and J. Miguel took an opportunity to take Doogie in the pits, but Doogie had none of it and quickly dispatched both drivers through the arena complex. For the final 3 laps, JMML hounded Souza closely, but was ultimately unable to pass him. Marzan was the victor, with Souza second and JMML third. S1 Division 2 began with the entire pack cramming into turn 1 together. FT3 got a punt from Catch, who let FT3 past again, but also holding back the rest of the field in so doing. Lightspeed caught gravel and span onto the road. Shortly after, Pies, who'd already lost ground after starting pole, ran wide and incurred a penalty, dropping to 6th. But 2 laps later, he capitalised on a critical error from Gnarly into the NGK chicane and took 4th back. Sparks caught Dr. LJ napping at the wheel, snatching 3rd place. And in the following 2 laps, things got heated as strategies converged. FD3 and Felix, both looking in with a good shot of victory, did battle, and the 2 Rockefeller drivers found themselves in a melee with Lightspeed. Dr. LJ again misjudged turn 1 and was ambushed by Pies this time. The following lap he was upset by a seriously lagging Lightspeed and became intimately acquainted with the wall. He was able to recover in time to hold on to 7th place though. FT3 pulled off a beautiful move on the ailing Lightspeed, and immediately afterwards Pies dived down the inside to steal second from Sparks. At the very end of the race, FT3 muscled Sparks aside, earning SAS a double podium result behind the victorious Felix. S2 Division 1 began relatively processionally. All the drivers got away safely, with Joma establishing an early lead, while his fellow FIA finalist Stinky took a trip into the gravel. Penguin and Miguel fought in the midfield, Miguel getting a beneficial punt in a clumsy move from his rival. Penguin was then also overtaken by X11 before doing battle with Stinky. Another battle developed between Miguel and Tulever, although they were on different strategies. Tulever took Joma in the pits, but on fresh tyres, the Frenchman was unstoppable. Cooper outpaced PKMZ to eventually take second, with Erky in third before the race was red flagged due to a serious network fault. S2 Division 2 got off to a clean start. Judoka, Beatitis, Arrowhead and Fullness spent the first 2 laps jostling for the lead. Neutron, having started very poorly, quickly made it up through the midfield and passed both Ruben and Gelspeed before catching up to No Return Ticket and Beatitis. Having picked up a penalty, Beatitis was floundering, and this midfield group quickly passed him by. He fought back, but ultimately couldn't keep pace with his opponents in that melee. Things took a turn for the strange when No Return Ticket seemed to be shoving Ruben into the pits. Meanwhile, Judoka and Arrowhead were in a tight battle for the lead. Try as he may, Judoka could not get past his rival, that is until Arrowhead pitted and Judoka stayed out for an overcut. The following lap, Judoka came in for his first stop, but when he emerged, he had been not only overtaken by Arrowhead, but critically also by Beatitis. They were both also held up for a moment by Dr. LJ, who politely moved aside, and this created a single opportunity for Judoka to take second place back and try to make up for lost time. Finally, at the beginning of the penultimate lap, he caught up and they duelled once more. Judoka almost had Arrowhead through the arena complex, but not quite, and a further desperate attempt to pass at the NGK chicane backfired sharply, and Arrowhead went on to win with a clear lead. Judoka second, Fullness finishing third. S2 Division 3 started in an orderly way, P. Marino and Magic Man quickly getting away from the rest of the pack. Matty was in third on medium tyres, holding up a much frustrated Pamago and Edin. Eventually, Edin bumped Matty off, but fearing a penalty from the organisers, he backed away. The following lap, Pamigo punted Matty off at NGK chicane, earning himself a 5-second penalty. Rookie gunslinger Nunu showed up the flying Kiwi of AMS, but his beginner's luck would not last. After the first round of pit stops, Marino had an advantage on Magic Man, but was briefly held up by his fellow teammate. Now it was Marino's turn to pit, and that lost time began to weigh heavy. Their pit stops now alternated, and with only 5 laps to go, and Magic Man on much fresher tyres, closing the gap slowly but surely, Marino made a surprising decision to pit one more time. It gave Magic Man a healthy lead, and although he caught up with backmarker Nunu, he did not make any attempt to get past. Meanwhile, Marino seemed to be cracking under pressure, being penalised 2 laps in a row for corner cutting, losing precious time. Pamigo was also struggling. Matty was back with a vengeance, and after a lap's pushing, he deftly outbraked his Portuguese rival into turn 1 and made a break for it. Nunu picked up a penalty and Magic Man finally got past, and seconds later crossed the line to take the win. Marino second and third place went to Edin. Here are the results. Apex Motorsports with 241 points, by far and away the best performers of S1, with GTMX second with 210 points, and Turismo Racing third with 200. When it comes to the driver standings for S2, we have Jomar at 150 points, Erky second with 130 points, and Cooper with 110 in third. There are, of course, far too many contestants to name them all, and I'd like to thank them very much indeed for taking part. It's been an absolutely fantastic pre-season for eSGT Season 1. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.